행복한 명작 읽기.
The Happy Prince. Chapter 1. A Beautiful Statue. In a city square, a very beautiful statue of the Happy Prince was standing. He was a very handsome statue. His eyes were two sparkling sapphires. He was covered with the finest gold. On his sword there was a sparkling ruby. The citizens of the city admired him very much. One morning, the town councilors gathered to admire the statue.
"He is as handsome as a weathercock,"
exclaimed one of them. He wanted others to think he knew a lot about art. However, he didn't want them to think he was unpractical. He said,
"But he is not as practical, of course."
A short time later, many people gathered in front of the statue. A very sad-looking man mumbled,
"It's good someone is happy in this city."
A mother said to her crying boy, "I wish you were like the Happy Prince." The Happy Prince never dreams of crying for anything. Several children came out of the cathedral. They said to their teacher,
"We think he looks exactly like an angel."
The teacher said,
"But you have never seen an angel."
"Oh, but we have in our dreams."
The children exclaimed. Their teacher was unhappy. He did not like children dreaming. Many days later, a small swallow flew over the city. He was flying to Egypt to meet his friends. They had left many weeks earlier. The swallow had stayed behind. The swallow had fallen in love with a reed in the early spring. He was in love with her slender body.
"I love you,"
he told her immediately. He flew around her all through the spring and summer. The other swallows made fun of him.
"How can you fall in love with a reed?"
They laughed. After the other swallows left, he suddenly felt very lonely.
"She never talks to me,"
he complained.
"and she is always flirting with the wind. I fear she does not love me."
He asked her,
"Will you come with me to Egypt to play in the sun?"
"No, I will not. I love my home here," she said.
"You don't care about me at all,"
he cried.
"I am going to see the pyramids. Goodbye."
He flew away and left the reed with her wind. The little swallow flew for many hours. Finally, he arrived in the city of the Happy Prince.
"I must rest tonight, but where will I stay?"
he asked.
"I hope there are many good places to sleep in this city."
Then he saw the statue of the Happy Prince.
"There is an excellent place to rest. It is high away from people and animals. It also has plenty of fresh air."
He lay in between the statue's feet. He looked up at the golden statue and thought,
"I have a bedroom beautiful enough for royalty."
The swallow was almost asleep when he felt a drop of water on his feathers. He looked up into the sky.
That's strange. It's raining. But there are no clouds in the sky.
He then felt another drop.
This isn't a good place to sleep. I must find another place,
he said. However, as the swallow was preparing to fly, he felt another drop of water. He looked up at the statue's face. Tears were flowing from the happy prince's eyes and down his golden cheeks.
Who are you?
Asked the bird.
I am the happy prince,
Replied the statue.
No, you are crying. You can't be happy,
Commented the swallow.
When I was alive, I lived a very happy life in a wonderful palace. I played in its magnificent garden, and I never went outside. I was so happy there. Because I was so happy, the servants called me the Happy Prince. I never knew about the sadness outside the palace walls. But now I can see people suffer, and I cannot help but weep. My heart is solid lead, yet I shed tears,
Explained the happy prince. The swallow was very surprised.
I thought he was made of solid gold.
However, he did not say anything.
I see many terrible things here.
The statue said.
In a far corner of the city, I can see a little house. It is a very poor house. Through one of the windows, I can see a woman. She is working hard. She is a dressmaker. Her hands are very red and sore. Her needle always pricks her fingers. She is making a dress for one of the Queen's maids of honor. The maid of honor is going to wear it to the next court ball. It is very difficult for the poor woman to make the dress. She is embroidering passion flowers on the gown. She is very tired, but she must work all night.
The prince continued.
Her son is very sick and hungry. She has no food to give him. Little swallow, please take the ruby from my sword and give it to her. I cannot move from this high place.
But my friends are waiting for me in Egypt,
Said the swallow. Chapter 2. A Bird on a Mission. The happy prince begged the little bird.
Little swallow, please do this. Please stay one night. Please take the ruby to the poor woman and her sick little boy. They are suffering so much.
but I don't like little boys,
replied the swallow.
Last summer, 2 terrible boys came to the river and threw stones at me. They didn't hit me, but it still made me angry.
The swallow looked up at the happy prince's face. He looked so sad, so the swallow said,
I will do this for you tonight.
Thank you,
said the prince. The swallow flew up to the happy prince's side. He took the ruby from the sword. The swallow flew far away over the city, passing many grand buildings. He passed over the palace. There he saw a lovely girl on a balcony with her sweetheart. As he was flying over them, the swallow heard him say to her,
"What a beautiful star-filled sky! How wonderful the power of love is!"
The girl answered, "My dress is being embroidered with passion flowers. The dressmaker is so lazy. I'm worried that it won't be ready for the ball." The swallow continued flying toward the poor woman's house. He flew over the port and saw the lights from the ships. He passed over the ghetto and saw people bargaining for goods. He finally arrived at the house. He landed on the windowsill. He saw the boy in the bed, sweating a lot from a fever. The woman was still at the table. However, now she was asleep. The little bird flew in and dropped the ruby next to the woman's hand. He then flew to the boy. He fanned his wings around the boy's head.
"I feel cool.
He mumbled.
Maybe I am getting better."
He then fell fast asleep. The swallow left them to return to the happy prince.
"I have done what you asked."
He said to the statue.
"Although it is so cold, I am feeling very warm."
That is the happiness you feel because you did a good deed,
said the prince. The swallow then fell asleep at his feet. The next morning, the swallow flew to the river for a bath. A professor was also at the river. When he saw the swallow, he said,
"A swallow? In winter? That is very strange."
The swallow then returned to the statue. He said,
"I must leave for Egypt tonight. Is there anything you want me to do before I leave?"
The prince begged him one more time.
Little swallow, please do not go tonight. Please stay with me one more night.
"But I must go. My friends are waiting for me. They will fly to the second waterfall tomorrow. There they will see the hippopotamuses amongst the bulrushes. Also, the lions will come to the river's edge to drink in the morning. They roar louder than the sound of the waterfall."
Please do not go tonight, little swallow. In another part of the city, there is a young man in a loft. He is trying to write a play for the director of the theater, but he has no money. He is so cold and hungry that he cannot write. Please stay tonight.
"I will do this for you for one more night. Do you want me to take another ruby to him?"
The swallow asked.
No, I do not have any more rubies.
The prince answered.
I only have the sapphires in my eyes. They are very rare, expensive sapphires. They came from India 1,000 years ago. Take one to the young man. He will buy food and firewood. Then he will finish his play.
"But I cannot take your eye,"
exclaimed the swallow.
Please, little swallow, do as I ask you to,
said the happy prince. The swallow had to fly to his eye and pull out the sapphire. He flew away to find the young man in the loft. There was a hole in the roof, and the swallow easily flew in. The man did not hear the swallow fly in. He had his head in his hands from exhaustion. After the swallow left, he found the beautiful sapphire on his table.
"Miracles do happen!"
He exclaimed.
"This must be from an admirer. Now I can buy food and firewood and finish my play.
He cried for joy. Feeling satisfied, the swallow flew down to the harbor the next day. He watched the men working there.
I am going to Egypt,
He sang out. But no one paid any attention to him. Later, he returned to the Happy Prince.
I must say farewell tonight.
He told the statue.
Little swallow, please stay with me for one more night.
The Happy Prince begged him for a third time.
But it is winter. Snow and frost are coming. I must fly to Egypt. The hills are warm, and my friends are building their nests. I promise to come back to you in the spring. I will bring you 2 beautiful stones. They will be your new eyes,
The little swallow said.
There is a little girl selling matches below in the square. She is cold and hungry. She has no shoes or stockings. Her matches fell into the gutter, and now they are ruined. Her father will beat her if she does not bring him any money. Please take my other eye to her. Then she can go home.
The prince begged him.
I cannot do that. I will stay with you for one more night, but I cannot take your other eye.
The bird said.
You must do it. Please, swallow.
The prince begged. So the little bird took his eye and gave it to the little girl. She went running home with the beautiful stone. The swallow went back to the Happy Prince and said,
Now you are blind. I will stay with you forever.
No, you must go to Egypt before the winter,
said the prince.
No, I will stay with you.
The swallow sat at his feet and fell asleep. Chapter 3. A Fatal Decision. The Happy Prince was blind. The swallow sat on his shoulder and told him many stories. He told him about so many magical places. He described the Nile River, the Sphinx, and the dry deserts of Africa. He told him about the merchants and about many animals like camels and elephants. The Happy Prince greatly enjoyed his stories.
Everything you have told me is very interesting. But people's suffering is the most interesting thing of all. I want to know everything that is happening in this city. Please fly over the city and tell me what you see.
The swallow did as the prince asked. He flew through the sky. Below him he saw wealthy people living comfortably in their homes. He saw people starving in damp alleys. Under one bridge he saw 2 boys cuddled together. They were trying to stay warm. The watchman came and yelled at them.
Get out of here!
They walked out into the freezing rain. The swallow told the Happy Prince everything. The Happy Prince became even sadder.
Please take my gold. Please give it to the cold and hungry people,
he said. The swallow gave every piece of gold from the statue to the poor. Soon the hungry children had food. They also had big smiles upon their faces. This made the Happy Prince happy again. Life for the swallow was becoming more difficult. Heavy snow fell on the city, but he still did not leave the prince. He found crumbs of bread outside a bakery. He flapped his wings to warm his body. In time, the little swallow thought,
I am going to die here.
He flew to the prince's shoulder and asked,
May I kiss your hand before I go?
Yes, it is time for you to leave this place. You need to find your friends in Egypt. You have stayed too long in this city. But I want you to kiss my lips and not my hand, because I love you.
The happy prince said. The swallow replied,
Dear prince, I am going to the house of death, not Egypt. Death is the brother of sleep, isn't it?
The little bird kissed the prince's lips. He then fell dead at his feet. At the same time the swallow died, there was a loud crack. It was the heart of the prince. It had broken in two. The mayor of the city was inspecting the city square the next morning. All of the town councilors were there too. They looked up at the statue and were shocked.
Look at the happy prince! He looks absolutely awful!
The mayor exclaimed. The councilors all quickly said together,
Yes, he looks absolutely awful.
The councilors always agreed with the mayor.
The ruby from his sword is gone. The sapphires from his eyes are gone. All of his gold is gone,
said the mayor.
He looks like a beggar. And look at this, a dead bird. Birds must not be allowed to die here. We must do something about that,
he said. Soon after, the statue of the happy prince was removed from the square. The art professor from the local university said,
He has lost his use because he has lost his beauty.
The statue was taken away to be melted. It was being melted at the foundry. The workers discovered a very strange thing.
This is so unusual.
One of the workers exclaimed.
The lead of the statue's heart was cracked, but it will not melt. Let's just throw it away.
The workers threw the happy prince's broken lead heart into the garbage. It lay next to the poor dead swallow. Far above in heaven, God commanded one of his angels,
Bring me the two most valuable things from the city.
The angel went to the city. He found the broken heart and the little swallow. God was very pleased with the angel.
You truly have chosen the most valuable things in the city. This little bird will sing forever in paradise. The happy prince will live forever in my city of gold.
The Nightingale and the Rose. Chapter 1. A Man in Agony. A young man was very upset and cried.
She said that she would dance with me if I brought her red roses.
But there are no red roses in my garden.
He sat in his garden feeling very sad. Not far away, a nightingale looked at him. She was sitting in her nest. It was in a lovely old oak tree.
Not a single red rose,
he cried again.
I have studied the writings of the wisest men in the world.
All the secrets of philosophy are mine. But now my happiness depends on a red rose.
The nightingale felt sorry for the man.
Here is a man who truly loves,
She thought.
I have sung of this love in this man for many nights. He has lips like the reddest ruby. His hair is like charcoal, but his face is full of sorrow and pain.
The nightingale then heard the man say,
My love will be at the prince's ball tomorrow. If I bring her a red rose, she will be mine. I will dance with her all through the night. But with no rose, she will not even see me. I will have to watch her dance with others.
The nightingale felt even more pity for the man.
I sing about love even though I can't feel it, but he feels that love. It is joy to me, but it gives him great pain. Love is more valuable than any precious jewel. It cannot be bought with money.
My lovely lady will dance gracefully to the harp and the violin,
The man said.
She will be surrounded by so many noblemen. They will all wish to dance with her, but she will not even look at me because I have no red rose to give to her.
With that, he threw himself on the grass. He buried his face in his hands and cried. He lay in the grass, thinking about his great misfortune. A little green lizard ran past him and asked,
Why is he sobbing?
A butterfly was darting about in the sun. It also asked,
Yes, why?
A daisy was swaying in the cool breeze. It also asked,
Yes, why?
The nightingale replied in a deep voice,
He is weeping for a red rose.
That is such nonsense!
laughed the little lizard. He was famous for being a pessimist. However, the nightingale understood such painful matters of the heart. She sat in her tree and thought about the mystery of love. After a few minutes of deep thought, the nightingale flew into the air. She gracefully glided over the garden. She landed somewhere in the middle. There, a wonderful rose tree stood. She said to the tree,
I will sing the most beautiful song for you if you give me a red rose.
The tree replied,
I only have white roses. They are whiter than the coldest snow. Go to the sundial. There you will find my brother. Maybe he has a red rose for you.
The nightingale then extended her wings. She sailed through the air once more. She landed next to the sundial. There was a rose bush next to it.
Could you please give me a red rose? I will sing you the most beautiful song.
However, the rose bush said,
I cannot, for my roses are as yellow as the sun. Why don't you ask my brother? He is growing under the young man's window. I am sure he can help you.
One more time, the nightingale lifted her wings and flew through the air. She landed in front of the rose tree, growing under the young man's window.
I need a red rose. If you give one to me, I will sing any song for you,
she told the rose tree.
My roses are red, but I cannot give you one because the winter has been very terrible. My veins are like ice. The frost has killed my blooms. There will be no red roses this year,
he told the nightingale.
But it is the only one that I want. Is there no other way?
she cried.
There is, but it is horrifying.
The nightingale said,
Nothing can make me afraid. Please tell me.
The way to make a red rose is terrifying. You must sing in the moonlight. You must color it with the blood from your own heart. You must stab your heart with one of my thorns.
The rose tree said.
At the same time, you must sing your sweetest songs.
The rose tree added,
That is the greatest price to pay for a single rose.
I value my life,
she told the rose tree.
I love to sing in the trees. I love to watch the sun's journey across the sky. I love the crisp air in the morning and the colorful blossoms in the fields. What meaning, however, does life have without love? The value of a bird's heart is nothing compared to a human's. I will sacrifice myself for love.
The nightingale stretched her wings. She flew through the air again. She glided over the garden. She could see the young man. He was still lying on the grass. The tears still fell from his eyes. She sat in her oak tree and sang, Do not weep any more. A red rose will soon be yours. I will give my own life for your happiness. But I ask for one thing. Love truly, love deeply. There is nothing greater than love. Chapter 2. The Greatest Sacrifice. The oak tree heard the nightingale's song and understood her words. He felt a deep sense of pain and loss. He loved the little nightingale. He would miss her dearly. The young man also heard her song, but he did not understand her words. He could only understand the language of people. The oak tree said to the nightingale,
Please sing me one last song. I will miss your sweet music dearly.
So the little nightingale sang one final song for the oak tree. After her song had finished, the man stood up. He took out a pencil and some paper from his pocket. He walked slowly through the garden. The young man thought about the girl he loved.
I cannot deny that she has grand style. But I wonder if she can love. I think she cannot. She is a typical artist. She is all style. She has a beautiful voice, but she is not sincere. She is selfish like other artists. She would never consider giving herself for any other person. It is too bad. I wish artists gave more useful things to the world.
He was deep in thought. He slowly walked to his room. His thoughts and feelings had exhausted him. He soon fell asleep on his bed. While the man slept, the nightingale pressed her chest against a thorn. She sang her most beautiful songs. All night she sang in the clear moonlight. The longer she sang, the deeper the thorn went into her chest. She sang of the purest love. In time, a rose began to form on the top of the rose bush. With each song she sang, a new petal formed. However, each petal was as pale as a ghost's face. The nightingale continued to press her chest. Yet the rosebush cried out,
You must press harder, little nightingale. You must press closer. If you do not, the rose will never be finished before morning.
The nightingale sang with even more passion. With time, a slight pink could be seen in the rose's leaves. However, to make the petals a beautiful red, the thorn had to pierce the heart of the little bird.
Press closer, little nightingale, closer. Dawn will arrive before it is finished,
warned the rosebush. She felt a wicked pain through her body. It was a dreadful pain. With it, she sang with even greater feeling. The petals amazingly turned cherry red, but the nightingale's song started to become very weak. Her songs became very faint. Now the tree could hardly hear her. With a final burst, she sang out. This caused everything around her to forget the coming dawn. The rose was now a deep red. It heard the bird's final song. It thrust its petals open and showed its elegant beauty to the world.
Nightingale!
Cried the rose tree.
The rose is finished!
But the nightingale was deaf to the tree's cries. Now she lay dead amongst the young grass in front of the rose tree. Later that day, at about midday, the young man woke up. He opened the window and was very surprised. The most beautiful red rose was before him.
What a beautiful rose! I have never seen one so perfect before. How fortunate I am to have such a beautiful flower,
he exclaimed. The man reached down and gently picked the flower. He quickly got dressed and ran to the lady. She was sitting at the front entrance to her house. At her feet, her little dog lay happily.
I have brought you the most beautiful rose that I could find. You said you would dance with me at the ball if I did. Please, wear it tonight. It expresses the deepest love I have for you,
he said to her. She looked at him with scorn.
It is no good to me,
she told him.
It will not match my dress. I'm going to dance with the Chamberlain's nephew tonight. He has given me some beautiful jewels. They are worth more than some silly flower.
You are very cold-hearted and ungrateful,
the man cried. He then threw the rose into the street. A wheel crushed it with its heavy load very soon after.
How dare you call me ungrateful?
Yelled the girl.
You are nothing but a student. You don't even have silver buckles on your shoes. The Chamberlain's nephew surely does.
She then stood and walked into the house.
I am so foolish to fall in love,
the young man told himself.
It is irrational and serves no purpose for me. It makes one do the most unreasonable things. I must only focus on logical things from now. I will dedicate my life to philosophy and metaphysics.
The young man hurried back to his house. He was eager to return to his studies.